Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe. It's been a while, but we got a lot of comic books coming to review. Let's start off with one of the ones I'm very excited about. I'm a big Adam Warlock fan. Have been a big Adam Warlock fan basically since Silver Surfer, back in the 90s first had, Thanos show up and the rebirth of Adam Warlock. I have basically loved Adam Warlock since that point. Of course, the Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff ever since. So, here we get the Infinity Entity issue number 1. Now, for those who don't know, Adam Warlock, begged Star-Lord to kill him, and he did. Let's get to it. Adam Warlock was created, obviously, by Earth. I'm going to read just the beginning of the book, like, before the book starts, so up to speed Adam Warlock. So Adam Warlock was created by Earth scientists as an artificial perfect human, and for some time he explored the cosmos, occasionally allying himself with heroes such as the Infinity Watch, Guardians of the Galaxy. He did have a dark side, however, and eventually, in order to prevent his evil self, Magnus, from permanently taking over, he given Star-Lord to kill him. And Magnus was, of course, in the second of the Infinity series. Recently, Adam Warlock of an alternative reality was reborn in this reality with the help of Thanatos, who has been both an ally and an enemy to Adam over the years. This alternate reality Adam has been reborn with vast power and knowledge, as he contains the energy of his former reality within him, but he has not fully realized just how powerful he has become. Most recently, he was helping Thanos and the Guardians of the Galaxy in their attempt to thwart Annihilus, and I always say his name wrong, from taking over the universe, but Annihilus banished Thanos to an empty void. Then the severely wounded Guardian were forced to retreat, and Adam Warlock was taken prisoner. Or was he? So that is the setup to this book. Now, we start off this book, basically Adam, Warlock not knowing, who he is or anything like that. He's just like aimlessly, around, not sure who he is or what he is. And so he's trying to figure out who he is. And so he kind of triggers stuff. Like well, I know this thing, so he goes to this thing, this is the Big Bang. And he's going through it, and he's wondering, something's terribly wrong. And his body starts to come apart, and he's like, is this where I'm going to die? But he doesn't die. The Big Bang happens, and he reforms his body. So he's in a reality. His body reforms. And so he decides he knows his place Earth, so he's going to go to Earth. And he visits the old Avengers. We're talking like the old Iron Man in the original armor, the old really armor, of course, saw in Iron Man 1, the movie, and the old Hulk and Thor, the Wasp and Ant-Man are there. And he shows up, and they think he's like an enemy, right? They start attacking him, and he ends up, Thor starts to attack him, and he shocks them because he picks up Thor, but he has Thor's hammer in his hand, and of course, only those are worthy pure can hold the hammer. It's like, he's like, that's impossible. How can you hold this hammer? More than him getting thrown around, that's kind of surprising him. Of course, everybody attacks him, but ultimately, he ultimately beats them all and realizes this is all, he starts thinking about, stuff like timelines and, what's he doing with time like this and chaos in his wake. So he basically leaves, and of course time's reset to what it was. So it was like he was never there, right? He leaves. And so he goes kind of like through time, and he kind of goes to the Guardians of Gessa now, and Gamora is like gonna die. She's really wounded, and they can't hurt her. And so, in order to not cause any trouble, Adam decides to out of sync himself with the timeline so that nobody can see him. But she's hurt; she's gonna die, and she starts talking about Adam and Warlock, and he sees she's gonna die, and he realizes he has feelings, like real close feelings for her, and so he saves her life. And she's the only person who can do it with Adam. And well, he's dead, but that means he's not dead. How did he escape death? And it's not the first time, obviously. So obviously, how do you escape death? And Adam's like, his subconscious mind is slowly leading him to the answers he needs, because he doesn't know who he is. He knows he's Adam Warlock now because Gamora said it, stuff, but he doesn't know who he is, what he is, and so he's going around trying to find that, and then all of a sudden he's interrupted, and the in-betweener shows up and basically says, I exist to travel and explore the realms, separating the economies and their abstract or chondrites, and your existence is an affront to my life's purpose. so you must be eliminated. And that's how it ends. So you're eliminated with the in-betweener. And one thing I love about Adam Warlock and Thanos Knight is they deal with the higher cosmic powers of the Marvel Universe that you don't see much in the comic books. Now, number 2 issue is going to be on sale next week, and they show Thanos on it. And I'm really excited. Again, I love Adam Warlock. I liked this book. You didn't get a lot of details because, again, this is the journey of this Adam Warlock trying to find himself and understanding his powers. Like, is he as powerful as the Beyonder? Is he like a living embodiment of the Infinity Gauntlet from his realm? Like, what is he? And where does he stand in the new Marvel Universe? Where is he in the hierarchy? How, in the powerful 9, is he up there at the very top? Or is he not, right? So, that's one of the interesting things of this. I always loved Adam Warlock's character, so it'll be interesting. And again, this takes place between the Infinite with Thanatos and they think is the Infinite Final, which is not out yet. So this takes place between those 2 time periods in the Marvel Universe. So clearly we're getting another Infinite crossover or event with Thanatos with the Infinite Final. So we know that's coming too. So again, I love Adam Warlock in the cosmic power stuff of the Marvel Universe. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So what do you think about this first issue? Do you think it was a nice start? Did you like because they're characters you're familiar with, especially again if you followed the character since the 90s, where he really became in my conscious when it comes to comic books, late 90s, early 2000s, obviously before with the Infinity Gauntlets, Infinity Gauntlet and Crusade and stuff. Anyway, love to hear your opinions like always. Again, if you love Adam Warlock and love the Infinity stuff, this is definitely a book to get Infinity Watch because it has that kind of flavor. Again, Jim Starlin, of course, writes it, and of course, Alan Davis artwork, so you got that automatic familiarity from those series before it. So overall, I liked it. I recommend it if you love that stuff. If you didn't like those type of books, this clearly will be your type of book, but this is also one where you can just jump into if you haven't read these type of books before, because it is just a starting point. You don't need to necessarily know the past history because it's kind of slowly showing you along the way. Anyway, love to hear your guys' opinions on this book like always. I'll do another comic book review soon. Later, guys.